Good day, I'm Lisa Rowan. This is your JIS News for Wednesday, May 21, 2025. $832 million has been allocated to carry out mitigation works in anticipation of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, which begins on June 1. $660 million is to carry out special works, and $172 million divided among the 63 constituencies. The announcement and the distribution of funds were made by Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan, in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday.
We are to invest $300 million to carry out essential work in the Sandy Gully in St. Andrew. We're also putting $100 million in the North and South Gully in Montego Bay. And in St. Catherine, we'll be allocating $30 million to do some remedial work in the Bogwalk Gorge.
Other targeted interventions in high-risk areas include $30 million to improve drainage along Dyke Road and $200 million for mitigation works along the South Coast, which has seen repeated flooding and damage in recent years. Minister Morgan says the National Works Agency, which is leading the mitigation program, has already started and contractors have been engaged, with communication systems being strengthened.
The forecast is serious. We're being told that there are possibly 19 named storms, 9 hurricanes, with 4 of them being major hurricanes, Category 3 and above. Based on what we went through in Berry last year, we're not taking any chances, and we're preparing early and acting fast.
Parents in rural communities are expected to save thousands of dollars each term on student transportation as the government ramps up the rollout of the rural school bus system in the 2025-2026 academic year. Minister of Transport Darrell Vaz made the announcement during his sectoral presentation in Parliament on Tuesday. The rural school bus system, which aims to ease transportation challenges for students in rural areas, will also dramatically cut current travel expenses.
The JUTC has a subsidized student fare, which is between $30 and $50 for students, depending on the trip. This is going to be extended to rural Jamaica, which means that the current fare for each student in rural Jamaica, depending on the distance, is between $150 and $300 Jamaican dollars per student per trip. This new dispensation, the fare for a round trip per student will be between 60 Jamaican dollars and $100 per day.
Minister Vaz says phase 1 of the rollout will continue with the provision of 100 refurbished buses to serve approximately 258 rural schools. 10 schools within St. Thomas are set to benefit from an allocation of 7 buses to the parish.
And we'll see dedicated school buses being provided to approximately 258 of the 850 rural schools, which is just about 30% of the rural population. So phase 1 will be 60 buses deployed in September 25 and the other 40 by January school morning 2026.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness weighs in on the benefits of the rural school bus for St. Thomas.
And I'm certain that the children of this parish will be very happy to be able to use those buses.
Still on buses, the government has saved more than $180 million in fuel costs in just 7 months with the ongoing rollout of compressed natural gas CNG units. Portfolio Minister Darrell Vaz says during the period October 2024 to April 2025, over $485 million was spent on diesel compared to $301 million on CNG. He also pointed to success in curbing fuel-related theft.
A joint operation between the JUTC and the JCF have led to multiple arrests and seizures which have resulted in tangible outcomes, such as a significant reduction in fuel deliveries to Spanish Town Depot following the January crackdown. Fuel loads fell from 8 loads, 254,000 litres in December, and 7 loads, 222,000 litres in January, to just 1 load, 31,000 litres in February 25. So imagine, Mr. Speaker, since then deliveries have stabilized at 4 loads $127,000 per month in March and April.
In other news, the National Chest Hospital is to get at least one new operating theatre and an upgraded waiting area. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave this commitment during a recent tour of the operating theatre and the Accident and Emergency Department. Dr. Tufton says space is available to expand, and he has asked senior officers at the hospital to work speedily with the Regional Health Authority to scope the project and have it costed.
It's long overdue for a facility like this to have at least another, perhaps two, and I've asked for the projectization of that build-out.
In addition, Minister Tufton says a team has been asked to conduct similar work geared at upgrading the hospital's wait areas. The National Chest Hospital is Jamaica's only specialized institution within the public health system, providing comprehensive medical care for chest and lung conditions. And finally, there has been a 10% increase in the number of persons who traveled for the Overseas Work Program from January to the first week of May, when compared to the same period last year. Minister of Labour and Social Security Pernell Charles Jr. gave the update recently. He says a total of 6,451 persons traveled for the program during the period, of which over 3,800 workers were placed in Canada and the United States since the start of this financial year in April. Minister Charles affirms the ministry's continued focus on employment readiness for applicants of the Overseas Work Program. Data from the literacy, numeracy, and psychometric testing held last year revealed that approximately 2,459 candidates were selected from a batch of over 4,000 applicants.
Of these candidates, 2,300 completed training through Heart NSTA Trust in key workplace skills. Some candidates, however, were not successful, but they are not sent back, Madam Speaker. Those candidates are referred for remedial training. 77 individuals who have other marketable skills were not sent for training, but were directed to the Labour Market Information System for job placement.
Last year, 14,350 workers were placed in jobs in Canada and the United States, which the minister says underscores the strong reputation of Jamaican workers. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.